Yo, what's up, Trailblazers? If you finished the new version 3.1 Trailblaze mission, then you've already met Hyacine the Chrysos heir of the Twilight Courtyard. She's all about good vibes, a great listener, and just wants to create a peaceful little safe haven in this totally not crumbling world. But guess what? Hyacine and Cipher are both getting closer to their debut in version 3.3, and leaks are already hinting at their gameplay. So today we're breaking down their kit's potential synergies and whether you should start hoarding those stellar jades. Is Hyacine the ultimate high-speed healer? And is Cipher the next Acheron tier Nihility damage dealer? Stick around because we're diving deep into all the juicy details. Oh, and if you haven't checked out my Castorice Beta 1 breakdown, you're missing out, link in the description. Smash that like button, subscribe if you love meta talks, and let's get into it. Without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into their kits and gameplay mechanics. Alright, let's start with Hyacine. According to multiple reliable sources, she's shaping up to be a 5-star Wind Remembrance character with a focus on maximum speed and burning her own health points to heal her allies. Yup, you heard that right, she hurts herself to help the team. I guess self-care looks different in Honkai Star Rail. Very I suffer so you don't have to energy. But hear me out, it actually makes perfect sense. She's rumored to be the best healer for Castorice, and here's why. Hyacine's playstyle, she gets crazy speed scaling with the new giant tree of wrapped brooding planar set. This increases speed by 6%, and if her speed hits 135 or 180, both her and her Memasprite's outgoing healing increases by 12% or 20%. The catch? She burns her own health to heal allies. But for someone like Castorice, whose entire kit thrives on HP consumption and restoration, that's actually a buff. Basically, she's like a high-speed, self-sacrificing medic that fits perfectly in HP-consuming teams Blade, Jingliu, Mydei, and of course Castorice. Oh, and you think she heals you? Nah, it's her Memasprite doing the actual work. She just slaps you and calls it healing. Watch this animation, she literally smacks you and somehow you feel better. Imagine getting drop kicked back to full health. But jokes aside, the synergy is looking insane, especially if her healing fluctuates ally HP that would turbocharge HP scaling characters like Mydei and Castorice. So yeah, definitely keeping an eye on her. Now let's talk about Cipher. Cipher is a Quantum Nihility character focused on additional damage, possibly true damage, and relies on critical hit stats as her main damage source. If that sounds familiar. Yep, we've got another Nihility DPS in the house, just like Acheron. Cipher's playstyle, she's a DPS Nihility character, not a support. So much for hoping for a new duty support, huh? Leaks suggest she has a debuff mechanic that boosts her own critical damage against enemies. Sounds familiar? The closest comparison we have is Aventurine's ultimate, which inflicts unnerved on enemies. When allies hit an unnerved enemy, their critical damage increases by 15%. Except Cipher's version is probably way stronger, or maybe even includes critical rate buffs. Honestly, Cipher could go two ways. First, she might be built to be fast and pairs with Tribby and Robin for extra additional damage spam. Or second, she becomes an insane Nihility enabler, making E0 Acheron even more broken. And yeah, I totally thought she was going to be a duty support, but apparently Hoyoverse has completely abandoned the whole duty meta. RIP Kafka mains. Either way, Cipher looks like a hard-hitting Nihility DPS that can potentially redefine how we build quantum teams. So what's the release order? The current speculated release order for version 3.3 puts Hyacine in the first half and Cipher in the second. But as always, take this with a giant grain of salt because you know information can change. Now let's discuss this. I want to hear all your thoughts and I'll throw in my own wild takes too. Let's start with Hyacine. Honestly, I think her skill or ultimate will consume allies' health points while her Memasprite restores them. It's essentially a net heal, but all that health point fluctuation is going to turbocharge health point-based damage dealers like Mydei and Castorice. Now onto Cipher. Cipher is an interesting one based on her DU buffs. I actually kinda expect her to be like a hunt single target character, and she gets some kind of additional advantage against elite enemies. I was wrong. When I first saw her element as Nihility, I was so hyped thinking it's going to be a dot character. Guess what, I was wrong again. As a sub-DPS damage buffer, she might become Acheron's best-in-slot teammate alongside Jaiokyu by replacing Paula. Alright, let's talk. What do you think of Hyacine and Cipher? Is Hyacine's self-sacrificing healed playstyle a W or L? Do you think Cipher is the next Acheron, or will she end up as a niche pick? And most importantly, are you pulling for them, or are you saving for Anaxa, Jade, or maybe even Robin? I want to hear all your takes, so drop them in the comments below. And hey, if you made it this far, you need to check out my Castorice Beta 1 breakdown link in the description. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss future updates. Alright, I'm off to grind some stellar Jade. Until next time, thanks for watching, peace out.
五球球莫名死掉，六球球台，七球球。 们扎头，welcome back to 奶奶。